Good afternoon, Wakeland, and welcome to this week's edition of Win TV.
On this episode, we will be discussing the effects of social media, Special Olympics, and the rising speculation over class rank. I'm Brighton Short.
And I'm Josh Webb. Win TV starts now.
With Wakeland becoming increasingly more competitive in both athletics and academics, students find themselves stressing over GPA, SAT and ACT scores, and class rank.
Some school districts have decided to eliminate class rank.
Texas superintendents discussed removing the viewing of class ranks. The idea behind this new proposal is that by only allowing the salutatorian and valedictorian to know where they're ranked, it will release a wave of relief throughout the student body.
Well, I think class rank and GPA has been an issue for some time with students. It causes, I think, a lot of anxiety and pressure and stress, and so it was an initiative I had coming in that we needed to do something about the rank and GPA process. I actually have a student advisory council, and that came to surface early in my meetings with student advisory, and so seeing as it was such a big issue with them, we turned the major focus of that committee to studying and looking at rank and GPA and how we might make some adjustment and fix it. Because I really wanted to get student voice, because that's actually who it's affecting. Well, some of the feedback we got from students was that they were not taking courses that they really would like to take, but rather they were taking courses that would help raise their GPA. We wanted to put a little bit more choice back into their scheduling options so that, when they really had an interest in a course, that they could take it and it wouldn't negatively impact their GPA or their class rank. And so we're working on a system that I think will help with that.
Due to concerns that our current ranking system has created an overly competitive school culture obsessed with class rank, many neighboring ISDs have been exploring how to create a healthy environment with the right amount of competition.
It takes away that marker, and you can't set a numerical goal for yourself if you don't have that class rank. And of course you have the GPA, but it's harder to compare GPAs and people are more secretive about that, so it just depends. I feel like there's a give and take, and then some students will be motivated with class rank and some students would be more motivated without it, and so it just depends on
who
which
the
people
person
you're
is.
trying
I was
to.
going to say that. I was saying maybe it's not because the number you can't fluctuate. You have two options. You either show it or you don't. Like there's like an option to show it. You can look at it, but even if you do, like nowadays, if I wanted to look at it, I go on Hack and look at it. If I don't want to look at it, I don't go on Hack and look at it. So it's kind of there where you have an option.
Well, I mean, I personally think this is just a horrendous idea. I mean, whoever proposed it, I'd love to hear what they were thinking, just so that I could get more of an understanding of where they're coming from. But I just feel like it's starving people of information that's very pertinent. And that's kind of what I keep going back to, is a sense that this information, although it may hurt someone's feelings, it's information. And I think information is power. Information is going to give us the ability to know what we need to do, whether that's to go and be upset that we're not where we want to be, or if that's to motivate us to become better and work harder and learn more so that we can do better in school.
The change of class rank, if put into motion, is planned to shift the academic culture for students to be able to focus more on what they would like to do while eliminating the stress created by GPA. I'm Veronica Teshba for Win TV.
It's no secret that phones are in constant use at Wakeland.
But how does this affect both students and teachers? Paul Boris searches for the answers.
Many teenagers today are largely fixated on the social media world and its surplus of content. This focus on digital media has indirectly created many issues in the real world. However, cell phones also have their positives, the main one being more opportunities to have class activities.
The use of smartphones has changed over the time period that I've been teaching, which is about 17 years, in that I see a little bit of a difference in students' writing. Sometimes you guys forget that maybe your smartphones will capitalize and suggest words, and in like on a Google Doc or Word document, that doesn't always happen. So the editing is not as polished as maybe it was in the past.
Obviously, technology, it's a very important factor in today's learning, and I do support using technology in classroom, but if it's for like something related to the class or research-wise, I do let them use their phones or just computers or laptops when they need to.
I feel like it helps because I get to listen to music, and that helps me personally, but it can be distracting if I'm like expecting a text or something.
With more than 77% of Americans owning smartphones, it's hard not to see their use in everyday life. With cell phone usage taking over people across the world, their endless benefits are starting to enter the classroom. But are they doing more harm than good?
When it comes to like me actually having to do the teaching and then they're just sitting on their phone wasting their time, that's kind of negatively impacting their learning and also the kids around them. It also comes with a lot of times there'd be like they see a notification on their screen or they see their screen bright up, let me check it, and then for a minute and they don't even notice that they're losing their focus. And also the kids who are sitting next to them, that makes them, oh, let me check my phone too.
With many Wolverines having mixed opinions on cell phones in the classroom, it is still important to put our academics first. I'm Paul Boris for WIN TV.
If you are planning to work in the medical field someday, then Health Science is the class for you. The Health Science Clinical course is designed to provide students with hands-on experience in the medical field. Students will experience real-life situations you would encounter in the medical field for continued knowledge and skill development. Non-paid training includes community sites such as fire stations, nursing homes, and hospitals. In order to take this course, you must take biology or medical terminology before you take health science. If you're interested in taking this class, please talk to your counselors or visit Dr. Bennett in the lecture hall. As winter ends, spring sports swing into season.
Lauren has an update on golf and softball.
The Wakeland golf team is finishing up another successful season. We talked to players and coaches to discuss the mental aspect of the game.
Well, I think the mental game is the most important part of the golf game, because if you keep getting disappointed after every bad shot, then you're just going to keep compounding your mistakes, and really staying calm even after the highs and the lows is what's key to winning every tournament.
For my pre-shot routine, I kind of focus on just what I want to do with the shot, so I don't want to focus on how it ends up. I just want to focus on just getting it where I want it to get it and just take it shot by shot. Every time I hit a bad shot or I miss a putt, I see it as like an opportunity to learn. And so I don't really overcome it, but I do see how I want to fix it and how I want to stop myself from redoing it and making the same mistake again.
I think our team mindset is to focus on the things that we've worked on. To know what our strengths are and to play to those strengths, whatever those might be, and those are different for each individual player. But in reality, it's to play well for your teammates.
Keeping a positive and a good mental mindset is the hardest part of golf, because the way I see it, having a positive mindset and having a good mental game is 75% of golf and 25% is skill. So it's just something you need to work on and make sure you stay positive with yourself.
As the golf team is entering playoffs, the softball team is looking to do the same under new head coach Nicole Price.
You know, I actually stepped down from a head coaching position to come be at Wakeland 2.5 years ago because I knew the tradition of winning that Wakeland had, and because I wanted to be under Coach Southard. I've learned a lot, and I'm extremely excited to be the head coach this year.
Coach Price has affected my game by always pushing me and knowing how to coach. She's gotten to know us much better, especially being the new head coach. She's just been a really good coach to us.
We've had 3 coaches, I've had 3 coaches in 3 years, and I mean, each year we've had a new coach. They have different expectations and different things they want us to do, but I think with Coach Price, she's really invested in us, and the transition has been totally fine. We all love her, and so it's fun.
So we lost about 7 seniors last year, but we have some great leadership this year, and we've got some very talented young freshmen, and so I am looking forward to seeing what they can do. As we've seen, we just recently have played some games where we run-rolled Allen and we run-rolled North Forney, and in district we're 1-1 currently, so we're excited to see how we do against Centennial on Friday.
Come out to see your Lady Wolverines battle Centennial tonight at 7. I'm Lauren Hogue for Win TV.
UNT Hall of Famer and our girls' head soccer coach, Sid Curry, was a dual sport athlete at University of North Texas, leading the nation in goals scored in 1974, also kicking his way to UNT football history, still holding the longest field goal on record.
I went to UNT on a full soccer scholarship, and I was sitting there practicing soccer. My soccer coach came up to me and said, "That's our athletic director watching you." They walked up to me and asked me, "Can I back up the ball more and see if I can hit that goal from farther away?" I did, and that's where it all began.
After his college days, Coach Curry had the opportunity to play for the national U.S. soccer team.
We were in the prelim games because it was 1976 in Montreal. The Olympics were held, and we were going around the country playing exhibition games. So that's when I competed. They provided me with lawyers that took my case to the U.S. government to give me an immediate citizenship because I was not an American citizen at that time. And so that when we failed to qualify for Montreal, then, they didn't need to do it.
After his professional career, Coach Curry decided to give back to the uprising generation by becoming a high school soccer coach.
I've been here 5 years, 5 brilliant years. I came here 2013, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. This is the most fun I've had coaching in a long time. This is it. June will be my last. I'm retiring, and will hand it to somebody else, but I'm leaving extremely happy. I'm going to go to every country on earth and watch a soccer game in that country. So it's going, when you get ready to start your school year next August, hopefully I'll be somewhere in the south of France or Spain, and I'll be thinking about y'all.
Thanks for all your hard work and dedication to Wakeland, Coach Curry. We wish you a great retirement. I'm Ethan Jensen for Win TV.
After recent events regarding school safety, Wakeland is taking extra precaution in order to ensure student protection.
Here's Nicholas Dimbla with more on the story.
We begin our program with broken hearts in yet another American town, which today became the site of yet another deadly school shooting.
This morning, the Sandy Hook Elementary School was full of kids concerned about Christmas. And then
today, when those first bulletins came into the newsroom of another gunman at Virginia Tech.
And today, Columbine High School looks like a battle scene after the worst school shooting in U.S. history.
It's been 19 years since the Columbine High School massacre, and only 7 weeks since the shooting in Parkland, Florida. Lockdowns, school resource officers, heightened school security, all of these measures to protect us in the event of a school shooting, but not enough consistent emphasis to prevent one. With students in the crosshairs, numerous opinions have broken out among our student body regarding their safety.
I think Officer Brown and the administration is the most responsible for preventing school shootings and helping give awareness to students because they have the power to do so. As higher authority, they just have the ability to maintain safety at school.
Ensure that all students feel safe. I think it should be that we put the students first, and so whatever costs we need to take to protect the students, that we know the administrators are going to take that cost.
Like many students, Coach Tabor, a psychology teacher and professor at UNT, feels we are well prepared for any active shooter incident.
Here in Frisco, they've worked really hard to have safety plans in place for all schools, making sure that teachers are trained and prepared. We know what to do. We also know that there is a plan to protect us if there is an incident, and likewise the students. So I feel very safe here, and I think that Frisco's taken some really good steps to make sure that we're all protected.
Whatever the staff members need to do, whether it be arming them or anything else, I think they're in charge.
Definitely not arming teachers. I feel that is a very risky and ineffective method to solve school shootings.
You see things, you hear things, and the best thing you can do if you're not sure is to report it. It's better to report something and be wrong than not report it and something happen, because nobody wants to carry around the guilt of knowing that they could have prevented an incident from occurring. So if you see something, report it, and be that front line for us.
The second an active shooter steps foot onto our campus, we've already failed to protect ourselves. Lockdowns are not a deterrent. Their single intent is to minimize the loss of life. Our first line of defense starts with your choice to say something. I'm Nicholas Stembla for Win TV.
Fieldhouse USA recently hosted a Special Olympics basketball tournament.
Travis Bravenek shares his experience from the event.
The basketball Special Olympics was on February 27th. I was lucky enough to get to complete with all my friends. I got a bronze medal for shooting. It was my favorite part. I also liked the dribbling and loved getting me medals. When it was over, I even got to see my friends from other schools. I'm Travis Bravenek for Win TV.
Currently, I am teaching 4 sections of AP US History. This is my 10th year teaching AP US, and 2 sections of AP Macro, and this is my 4th year teaching that. This is my first year at Wakeland High School, but it's actually my 24th year teaching. My wife and I actually have thought for about the last 10 years about moving down. 2 reasons, actually 3 reasons. We have family that live down here in McKinney. I actually have a relative that teaches in Frisco. And we just heard it was great schools, and honestly it was economically beneficial as well. So all in all, I think it was a good move for family, friends, and money. So I applied to Frisco, and I actually got several interviews. I'm not going to say where, but Wakeland was definitely one of them. And I was offered those jobs, thought about it for a while, talked to some people that I trusted, and they said Wakeland was the place to be. So I feel good about that decision. I am Mr. Taylor, and I'm Wolverine of the Week.
That's it for this episode of Win TV. I'm Brighton Short.
And I'm Josh Webb. Have a great weekend, Wolverines.